So Tara, it's 2:45 in the morning there, and we're looking at the new Facebook timeline that's just launched. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it is fabulous. I am very excited about the new changes. Everybody seems to be concerned, and the main concern on everybody's mind is what is happening to the cover pages or the fan gating pages. How are we going to capture emails now? And
how do you think we'll get around that? What do you think will happen?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of tips and tricks. And I think there's also been a trend moving away from fan gating and all of that. So I think Facebook read it right here. We've been creating contests on our blogs and feeding them through events and feeding them through our social networks all over the place and not even using the fan gating, and we've been capturing it that way. You can see in my timeline cover, and this is on my business page, I have a little word here that says, go click your favorite timeline billboard and see a video and click and enter to win. And so if you click like Chicago, a little window pops up and you can take use of this space right here. Watch this timeline video. This will go to big screen over to my website. We'll play a great big video. It's taking a little while to load up. I'll stop it after a second, and you can enter to win over here.
So have you managed to make that picture clickable then? So is it got hotspots on there, or how have you managed to do that?
It's just a trick.
Ah, excellent.
All it is an image, and I just called them a hotspot, so yeah. It's a little trick. It makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant, because we were thinking about doing that with the landing pages. So basically the landing page is now at the top of the screen.
Sort of, yeah. Now we have our console right here. I'm about to move this and make that my contest, where they can enter my contest here too. And I believe there's going to be several other options where it's going to be super exciting, where they can click right here and they can enter, and people are just going to get more interested in using these little tabs where they weren't using them up here, how they were before. So,
and we were looking.
I get it.
Sorry, I was just going to say we were looking at the drop downs, because there's a lot easier to be able to share the page now, isn't it, with other pages and things like that. Have made that a lot more malleable.
Yeah, and now we can get messages. I've already received messages, and this is the admin section, and so I can see right away the notifications and the comments, and that's kind of cool. I like that, and the people who are liking my page, so I can go and make a comment and make sure that gets the appropriate amount of attention. You don't have to go searching for it, kind of like I did before, and I like it. And the other thing is, let's see, Facebook gave a lot of different information. We cannot sell our timeline for photos. One. Right. It's coming up hot. If you go to Facebook About Pages, this gives us a lot of really good information on how to build your page and introducing how to preview it. It's very comprehensive. It looks good. I like that.
I'll check that out later on. That looks really good. I should check that out. It's interesting, because of all the people that have made all the companies that make all the pages, and now they've all gone. It's amazing, isn't it, that overnight the whole landscape changed again.
I know, and some of them were really shocked. So I'm hearing that.
Well, if you think about the face it, I don't know, all the companies that make them and sell them, and Gary had just learned how to do competitions, and he was going to go home and figure out what would happen to his competition because that was a landing tab. Have all the tabs gone now, Tara? You know how they were making them sort of with all these directional tabs. Are they all no more now?
No, I just went to my page and I showed you a couple of my tabs.
So
what I did is I had to turn off the fan gazing.
So the tabs are now basically the images at the top. They're not just little pictures down the side.
Right, they can be the tabs.
Excellent. Okay.
And I think there's some kind of issue with linking to them or whatever. So, and note that you can change the images in your tabs. So that's been important. Part of the discussion.
So if you when you got tagged in a picture, that picture then took over from the last one. But you're saying that these are now set in stone. You set them, and you're in control of them.
Yes, I believe that's right. What I'm saying is that on those tabs up on top, when they first get installed, they don't look very good, but you can customize them.
Okay, excellent.
The tabs.
So,
this is another cool page. It's the About pages. And it just tells us, you know, the highlights, why that matters, how to manage everything in one place, and, you know, cool new looks that people are doing.
Looks great, isn't it? I really like it. I must admit, I think it looks really fresh. And like you say, it's a lot more accessible, isn't it? You're not delving around trying to find the information. It's all there right in front of you.
And this is, on my personal page, I pushed the play button just so they could capture the information on the side. Now, there was one other I thought was the most important. Let's see, there's Facebook Studio that's really important, and there's this, just awesome. And I went through, and this is a step-by-step guide that requires a little bit of flash, but it will, I'm on conclusion, but
so what's this one? What are we looking at now?
This is a step-by-step guide with a little bit of testing. It's interactive and has clicks all the way through. I believe it's built in Flash, but they did a really nice job and it teaches you how to use all the ins and outs of the new Facebook timeline.
Fantastic, I'll check that out. We'll pop that on the site later.
It takes maybe 12 to 15 minutes. There's little quizzes, and, you know, so they did a good job.
Brilliant.
And then there's the links, sources at the end. So I like it. I think it's going to be useful, but I've been transitioning out of having to have Facebook timelines for a while. And the other thing is, I completely believe that Facebook advertising, which I have clients who want to advertise, is going to be much, much more successful now.
Yes.
They're going to be more responsive. If you do it kind of the way they want you to do it, and it's going to work, it's going to be exciting. And so we're going to see serious results as companies put a little bit of money in. And what I like is they were really motivated for ads to look beautiful and for the ads to be created around stories so that they become part of the atmosphere in a beautiful way and in a graphics way, you know, so that it's well done. And they have a make from the 1930s that really inspires them, and that's what they would like to see happen. And I get that, you know, so I'm so excited to put that in place. They talked about creating movements at the Facebook conference today, and they talked about the excitement of what happens in a movement and about telling stories and how that's going to change the atmosphere.
That's really interesting, because we went to a course last summer, and it was one of the Nigel Botterill courses, and he was saying it's all about the stories, and that was the theme really of his day. And it seems that's it's coming true, isn't it? Because the sponsor stories and things like that, they're much more appealing, aren't they, than, like you say, the hard sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want that to be part of my story too. I want to make sure my story is told, and I want to make sure my customer's story is told, and not just branded by some mathematical equation, but that their personality and their passion of their brand, of their company that they've worked so hard for, comes out, and reaches the right people.
So what do you think will happen next? What's the next big maneuver from Facebook land, do you think?
Well, I will really see an emergence of some movement, and there will be a change in different atmospheres and in different niches, and they'll grow, They really talked about how they needed some social media strategists that really understood the architecture and ability to communicate at this level so that they could bring the old school in with the new school on a grand scale and make those movements and those developments happen. And it was a little rude because there was a lot of ages on the Facebook conference today, because they were like, well, just hire someone under 30. That'll fix everything. And the gentleman from American Express and Walmart, they're like, no, that's not what we need. We need architecture and plan, and
It's interesting, because we went to Earl's Court the day before yesterday, and that we picked up on that it's all about the strategies now. That's what we came back with. So isn't it amazing that you in America and we in London, we're all singing from the same hymn sheet now? It's wonderful.
Yes. We've tried it a number of different ways over here, and we are really finding out that bringing out the passion of people and the company and crowdsourcing the people in the company, whether they are in the development team building the components of something, or wherever they are in the staff, wherever they're passionate, wherever they're social, and maybe somebody is on Pinterest, can post pictures of different pieces of the puzzle. You don't know who is really good at social. It's crowdsource people and manage them. Just have a social infrastructure built in, and so we're doing a lot with that and capturing that passion and putting it to work for us.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for staying up so late to talk about the new Facebook pages and share your knowledge with us in the UK. It's really, really exciting stuff. And
love it.
Thank you very much.
I love you guys. You guys are fabulous. Loving social media is what it's all about.